situation. But first, like I said, Mr. Silver is so talented. So welcome back to GO. I'm glad to be back. This is our first show back, and it's been a minute. Your girl's been out. She had knee surgery, and I'm back now. You see, I got the heels back on. I'm ready for you guys. Yes, I'm going to be out on location next weekend. We're covering a block party at 17th and 18th and Irving Street. And Brother Lawrence, we got a whole back porch. They setting us up a panel. The guy, he's the little city councilman of what they call Millbrook area of 17th and 18th Street Northwest Irving Street. Up in that area, they had closing off between 17th and 18th and Wilburn. And they're throwing a block party, and his name, he's the DJ of and the owner of 89.3 FM. And yeah, this is his annual block party that he's doing. He got artists and Precious Mother Love, the lady who created all of this eccentric of my inspired vision of this jewelry, what came from like a lot of my mom's collection, like my third eye here was part of my mom's bracelet. This was a beaded stone, crystal, amber, which is this stone, was a part of her necklace, and she just fused all this stuff together for me and just had me wearing part of my history, my ancestors. And you just don't know when you're connected with yourself, it's a high, and it's supposed to be a high. That's when you know you're in your awakening stage, because you're on a high that's continuous. It never stops. I'm telling you guys. So get educated, get knowledge, and get awake. But that's all I wanted to say. And Brother Lawrence has some other things he got coming up this month. Some outings, hopefully we can cover. If we can't cover on mobile or visual, you will be seeing the pictures posted of, you know, his extra side events that he do DJing, you know, as well. You got anything coming up?
Yeah, I got another block party, but it's one of my friend's wife turned 60, and we're doing her 60th birthday party next week. I'll probably just take some snapshots or little videos here and there.
Okay, okay. Okay.
But,
all right.
Other than that, I'm just staying tuned, trying to get, I got a surprise I'm going to tell you about. I'm trying to get something time soon.
Okay, all right. So you got some surprise for us.
We can work out the dates.
Okay. Okay. All right. Great, great. So stay tuned and don't sleep on 2GO. And with that being said, it's now time for me to get into one more cut of selection of Brother Silver's here CD, which is called One Nation. And we're going to go to track. What track would you like to play?
Let me see, 3, I believe.
He wants us to play track 3. And this is called
Super Soldier.
Super Soldier.
something else on your chest. Take up tough, a simple task. You don't do kind of mask. Once crusader, now masquerader, wounded soldier, we've come for you. Maybe we will make together. Maybe we will love you. God's word with soldiers.
With great power comes great responsibility.
He gave his back in his house.
I know who you are. Your son.
I don't know. She been big on you.
Taking hands from pockets to diverting rockets, seeking not his own pleasure. He's come to help you. It's to the soldier, protector of the human herd. The soldier, teacher of God's word. The soldier, while the keepers of the land, maybe we go guardian of
All right. That was. He's the superhero.
Super soldier.
Super soldier. I'm sorry. See, super soldier. And what was the inspiration driven behind that one?
Well, pretty much sometimes in life, we get hurt, we fall down, but those of us who are called to be guardians of men, to watch over other people, we can't get into ourselves. We don't have that luxury.
Mm-hmm.
What we have to do is pick ourselves up from the bootstrap and get back out there like Superman, and because we can do things that others can't do, we have to do what others don't normally do.
Right.
We just go out and we have to esteem the interests of others more important than ourselves.
Correct. It's like a connecting effect of dominoes, but inspirations that are knocking down but lifting up.
Correct.
Right. I
Yeah.
like that.
And that right there is the cover of my new album right here.
This one?
Chocolate Treat. It's a more romantic album, romance album.
And you can get Chocolate Treat where you go on Can you go on Face? I think, yeah, I saw this on Facebook.
Yes, and also
And
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation.
Reverb
Facebook and Reverb Nation, where you can get his new, is a CD or
New CD.
New CD called Chocolate
Treat.
Treat
Yes.
album. Yes.
And my new television show is also on Facebook.
And that is called
The Marvelous Millennium Man.
The Marvelous Millennium Man.
The Marvelous Millennium Man.
The Marvelous Millennium Man is on Facebook as well. Just go to Facebook and pick up Seth Silver. That's SETHSILVER. Silver. That's right. Pick it up, pick him up, and I'm telling you, multi-talent guy. And we haven't even, this is the tip of the iceberg with this brother. We get ready to get mind deep. So stay on and don't sleep. Okay, we're going to get into some things like I said, we're just going to touch a little basis about Mariana Silver. First of all, how is she doing? Have the family heard from her? I know she's incarcerated, but how is she being treated? Has she spoken out?
Well, I haven't had a chance to speak to her yet, but I've been trying to talk to my brothers and family members to go and see her as quickly as I can.
Oh, okay. All right then, because that's my concern is her welfare. Also, I wanted to just also get into the fact of it that they was so rushed off to charge her without her. The judicial system is so tricky, and sometimes they make it where it's like catch-22. It's like they'll use something you done or haven't done, and they'll try to use it against you, and it depends on your state of being. Mm-hmm. If you're, and I mean, this is a combination thing. When I say depends on your state of being, it depends on if you're in poverty, because that takes effect. Mm-hmm. If you're a citizen in poverty, and if you have any type of, this could be your first hit. This could be maybe your second or third. That's another combination. Then there's your health insurance that limits you to things with probably you're dealing with within yourself, and you haven't been able to get, thoroughly physical, mental. When you get these insurance and it's from the government, people, we need to access and fully use it to the fullest. And I'm a patron, okay? Yes, your girl get everything. I do everything possible that they gonna allow me to check. If I can check my blood for free and find out where my people lives, where they were, if they let me do it for free instead of playing Ancestor.com, I do it for free because they're gonna pay for it. Use these benefits, people. Stop being in denial saying, oh, it's gonna take too long, the paperwork. No, it's not. Use these benefits to get yourself checked out thoroughly. In every area, we have 3 areas that we need to take care of our bodies. Just like, the 3 dimensionals. We have 3 areas of our body we need to focus on and take care of. They're not going to take care of themselves. And this is my thing back to the judicial system, in this situation. When someone is being charged, I thought they go through a due process. Isn't it the same? Innocent till proven guilty, right? I didn't see that.
Hey, Kim, can I speak on this right here?
Sure.
Road rage. It's something we all need to talk about. Even after the situation took place with Mariana, and I'm trying not to talk too much about her because I want to talk about all of us. We say to ourselves, it takes a village to raise a child. But if something has happened with the child, we have to ask what has happened to the village to create such a child. What I'm trying to say is I don't advocate violence or what she may have done, because I believe that we can be disagreeable without becoming violently disagreeable. I believe that civilization and violence are still antithetical concepts. I believe that we need to learn to realize that if we head down a road of revenge, someone does something on the highway and you want to do it back to them, you've had to dig 2 graves when you head down the road to revenge. In the end, because an eye for an eye still leaves everyone blind. It leaves the community more in monologue than dialogue. I like this right here because it is almost like the cross. The cross is as simple as an intersection. So when I think of road rage and things like that, we all have to share the road. We have to share this great intersection in life.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so when it comes to that road rage situation in general, even yesterday, I was driving down the street, the roads were congested, and the guy started throwing rocks at my car. Rocks and metal. And I'm like, for real, dude? And when it comes to road rage in these situations, I talked to 4 different stations, Channel 4, Channel 5, 7, and 9. But I wanted to open up the discussion about how can we help when it comes to things like road rage, something like de-escalating a situation. if anybody saw that video, they could realize, like the bus driver, if he just sat in his truck, if he wouldn't have gotten out of it, if he wouldn't have started cursing at someone who's 20 years old on a day that is like 100 degrees weather, if he would have not instigated the situation through being loud, racial slurs, all of the above, none of this would have happened. So, if he played the adult role, because he was the adult in this situation. So, but all of us, we can learn to cut down on road rage because you never know what's going to happen out there. We saw how bad things can get.
Escalate, correct.
Can escalate. So one of the things that we can teach ourselves to, and I wish I was trying to contact Dr. Phil, and I wanted to get his opinion on his, as a trained clinician, to see what happens if you do deal with a mentally ill person, and how that you can, under stress, you can cause subpersonalities to come out. You can call berserker rage out of the average person or people who have mental illness without medication and things like that. Road rage can be dangerous for everyone, but if we learn to de-escalate, number one, and number two, conflict resolution skills. Conflict resolution skills. We don't always have to resort to name callings, like I said. We don't have to resort to being confrontational. There were elders on the bus, elderly people. If he had just shut the bus, closed the bus, and created a barrier. If you were in a road rage situation and someone comes up with you with a knife or tries to attack you, you create a barrier between you and that person. And the last thing I'll say about that right there is I was I'm still a first responder. I trained under MEMFRE at Maryland University. I have a lot of certifications and pre-hospital things, and deal with the detectives here in Washington, D.C., and police, law enforcement. I was a sergeant also at Maryland Penitentiary. But when it comes to conflict resolution of skills, you don't want to be a patient or a victim when you are involved in emergency or crisis situations. Let me say that again. One of the first rules in medicine or first responder, if you see like a big hole when someone fell into a hole, unconscious, you don't jump down in a hole because there may be gas down in that hole. If you see a house in which lights are all out, and you may see a body laying in front, or maybe electrical lines around a person, you don't go around it and become a victim yourself. See someone drowning, you jump in and they grab you, and two people at stake. So the first law or rule is you're not supposed to make yourself a victim. But the guy who jumped in front of the bus, he made himself a victim. He did a lot of things that were wrong, and I think that Greyhound most definitely need to go back and retrain this individual and other individuals, not just him, many individuals.
Yeah, because if he was injured, he wouldn't have been able to get those folks on the bus to their destination.
Correct.
They would have been stuck there. All those riders that paid for their fare,
elderly people at that,
they would have been stranded. And he put himself at risk. My thing is, I felt like he should have stayed on the bus and used his dispatcher and waited for help. But, nevertheless, never said, like I said, we're not here to, we're not lawyers, we're not judges or anything. But my thing is, like you said, I'm going back to the mental health of it. She's there, she's charged, she's been put in there, and she hasn't been assessed, she hasn't been talked to. So all this time, she's sitting there waiting for her day in court. This baby is going to be manifesting all of this. And then she's put into a regular general population. That's going to be manifesting. They're going to create aggravation, irritation. So by the time she gets her day in court, she's not going to be prepared. She's still going to be fragile back to this day of this incident. Because no one came in to say, hey, I will listen. What happened? What were you thinking about? Why did you do that? Why did you jump out of your car? Those are the things that need to be asked to her so she can get in relation to herself. And it will help her, to when she do get to her day in court. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These things need to be available in the system. I don't know where the money is, but they should have had somebody on staff once she reached that precinct to be booked. They should have someone right there in that precinct to advocate her through this system until they told her what all her charges were and why they were booking her in. They should have had an advocate there with her. through the whole process. That's my feel on it.
I guess I will say this because I already said this to 4 different channels already. So why we're going to keep some of this stuff confidential,
Right.
some stuff that has been brought out already. I had mentioned to the media, I said, were you aware that Mariana the day before she was being stalked by a certain individual? It's on police records. She was also, someone was trying to kill her. Someone backed
See,
the
you never know what
lugs
nobody's
off of her
going through.
tire, and as she was driving to a very important job interview, the tire came off. So if you put these things in the context of what was happening, I'm not justifying what she did. I'm just saying, I was at John McCain's funeral, and police told me over 40 people had passed out within that one day. He didn't say the totality of everyone who passed out because of heat stroke. We all know how hot it was that week. We know that the average person can act up during this type of heat, but I'm not saying that it alone. What I'm saying, if we're trying to understand why, you're never
Right.
going to find the answer of why in just one place, because human behavior or motivation is not found in just simply nature,
No.
genetics,
No.
or the thesis of nature or the antithesis of nurture, but a higher synthesis of the two. What she did has to do with upbringing, genetic stacking, the climate, the environment. But like I said, I'm not trying to point fingers towards him or her. I want our focus to be brought out to the bigger picture. We need to share the road, share the intersection. I brought this picture of Jesus. This is a Byzantine artwork, piece of Jesus. And even though this is a Eurocentric depiction of Jesus, I also have an Afrocentric picture of Jesus. And but the emphasis is not even on color. My belief is that we all need to get along as a human race, as a human family of God, regardless of color, creed, race. I believe that it's time that we need to learn we will either coexist or we will co-exit as a species. It's time for us to build bases, not military bases, but more bases of human understanding. We have come to the crossroad. That's what I'm trying to say today. This road rage is not just simply road rage. I want to take it to a larger place where humanity is at a crossroad, and we have to learn to love one another.
Exactly. Amen.
And that you said that, I just want to throw, this is something simple, but I noticed when I'm on the road driving, and I just hit my blinker, right? And the cars that I can see in my rearview mirror, they automatic speed up. With the mentality is, you're not going to get in front of me.
Right.
And sometimes I don't even get on. I just do the test. And it always, they
Trigger.
speed up. You know what I'm saying? So that makes me think, like, somebody put that blink on, I just automatically slow down. You know what I'm saying? Give them the right to get over. This man one time.
Right, you show
raced.
courtesy.
Yeah, I hit the blinker. He raced up. If I was to got over, he would have caused the accident. Just because he didn't want me to get in front of him. And then we'll get further down the road, and he ain't got nowhere to go. He riding slow again. So it's a mentality. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
I like the fact, as a friend of mine said, let's work the problem. We can always talk about how our society is addicted to drama, and we can perpetuate this drama and things like that. But I like what you were mentioning, some of the solutions. I like when I'm driving and someone allows me to get over, I'll wave my hand at them and say, hey, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we need
Common
to
courtesy.
do more of this type of
Yeah.
thing. And you know, like I said, share the road, share the intersection.
And I just want to say this, not saying all, because we got to train our young people. We grew up, doing that. Common courtesy, our parents taught us.
Right.
And if we don't teach it, because you're not going to learn that on TV.
It's not going to
and
come
all
to you.
that.
No, because they're not teaching that.
It's
No.
everything rush. So we're going to have to
Got to
teach
be
it and
first. Got to
say
be
about
number
the
one.
business. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's what it's coming down to. Even when we're in school, in the elementary, we get on our basketball team, our football team, so we compete against the other kids at the other school to be number one. You know what I'm saying? Number one, get the big trophy, get our
Right.
attention.
Mhm.
And that's through
life. That's because they trained it and drilled us in it.
You know what I'm saying?
And some
Program.
people take it to different measures and placing it as a tool in their life and don't realize it, as a creature of habit. Some things we can let go. But we hope much success to her situation. I know it's a lot, but our prayers will be with you and your family on that. And we're going to step away from that, and we're going to get into your other endeavors, which is all about you. And my first thing is that you guys, though, is that the one from The Wire?
Yes, it is.
This gentleman has his swag affiliation, okay?
SAG.
SAG.
But I would take swag too.
Oh, okay. He has his-
Little swagger going on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is him when he was a actor on his role of Wire.
On The Wire for about 5 years. That's Seth Gilliam right there.
Mhm.
My name is Seth, but this is Seth Gilliam right here on The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it up. Let me see. Close.
I had a chance to work with Dominic West, Idris Elba. Idris is a really cool guy.
Here's a picture of him with who's
John Amos on Good Times.
that? John Amos.
Yes, Method Man.
And here's one with Method Man.
I think we were on the corner or the district. We were on The Wire as well too, with Method Man. And this is with Chris Rock. Yeah. Oh, I told my brother that when I rise, he rides too. This is my twin brother.
And he has a twin that does the same, most of all his same attributes as Mr. Seth. His name is Steve.
Stephen, yes.
Yes.
Actually, this shows me and my twin brother. I won a television award here. We got two television awards from Baltimore Museum of Arts for excellence in television. I always like to bring my brethren, so I said, come up on the stage and share it with me and like that. And that's me and my brother. So someone said, you have an identical twin? I said, yeah, but we're actually triplets.
Oh, okay.
And he said, triplets? Where the other one at? I said, Denzel went to California 20 years ago. I started laughing. I said, okay, I'll settle for Jamie Foxx,
Okay. That'd be good.
And Mr. Silver is also a comedian, very funny human guy. He's very great.
Hey, let me say, my daughter, by the way, she took my acting bug. She's in California right now. She had like a 3.9 average in Frostburg. She got close to like 4.0 average right now. She hosted the pre-Oscar party and the pre-Emmy party in California. And she just got an internship. Who's the lady who on Murder, She Wrote?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I Got Away with Murder.
Forgot her name.
Davis.
What's her name?
Oh, Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah.
No, I Got Away with Murder.
I don't know.
Fences with Denzel Washington. She just won an
Alfred
Oscar.
Whitaker.
I can't remember her name. But my daughter's working. She has a production company. And my daughter got the job.
That's wonderful. Yes, that is wonderful.
I told her to fly high, but she's flying really high. Speaking about flying high, this right here.
Okay, before we get
sure.
into some more of your juice,
Okay.
we're gonna play another selection off of One Nation.
Okay.
What track you would like us to play?
Let's see. Let me see the back of that.
Sure.
Great is our faithfulness. Which number is that?
11.
Number 13. Great is our
Great is thy faithfulness.
great is thy faith.
Faithfulness.
That's the gospel.
Yeah.
Jazz it up a little bit.
Someone else created this track, but I was allowed by Christian World Records to rent it out, by the way. I want to give credit where credit is due.
That's right.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon, pardon, pardon for sin. Peace enduring. Thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide. Strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings are mine and 10,000 besides. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, that hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Lord,
Alrighty, welcome back, welcome back. That was another selection off of One Nation by Mr. Seth Silver.
Chocolate treat.
Huh?
It was offered.
Oh,
Excuse me, my fault. It was on that.
yeah, yeah.
I mix my own songs up.
He's so happy about this new one. He can't wait to get this out there to you guys. So please
Yeah.
go
It's
to
the romance
Seth, go
album.
to Seth Silver because we get ready to get this cold weather, and he's excited because he wants everybody to be happily in love and romantically influenced. So it's called Chocolate
Treat.
by Mr. Seth Silver. You go to Facebook and you can pull that one up, as well as One Nation of some of the selections you're hearing here in this hour of 2GO Talk Show with yours truly, Lady of 2GO, and Brother Lawrence. And we're going to keep this thing going because Mr. Silver has, like I told you, he has so much here. We were going to go to these pictures here that you saw me showing earlier, and Mr. Silver's going to give us some history while Brother Lawrence bring him up closer to you, and he's going to give you his history of what these photos represent in the time of his part of his performance of being so artfully displayable.
This picture right here is I was performing on Michael Jackson at the Howard Theater, and then I went to the 930 Club. I was performing for the last 3 to 4 years, and God started opening doors. Instead of 700 people, it went to 800, and in front of 1,300 people at the RFK Stadium. And I'm supposed to be traveling different places around the country, 10 different places where they have Michael Jackson, Prince celebrations.
Okay.
But the funny thing about it is there's a little story behind it. I got hit with bipolar disorder, and I was not capable of moving. So that's why I have such a passion for helping people with issues that deals with the cephalon in the head, regions in the head. I don't particularly like caring when people say just mental health, because I study medicine and I have to say, where is the mental on the body? The mental is the head. So when I see someone who has mental health issues, I have to look at the head, and I would say exactly where in the head is the problem. I've been an electrician for over 20 years, International Brothers of Electrical Worker, working on fire alarm, power, lighting, security system. So I like to be real meticulous, and so if I'm gonna deal with mental illness, I'm gonna say, let's talk about if someone's amygdala is messed up, and or the cerebral cortex is offline, and how it affects their judgment. But we'll talk about that later on.
Yes, we're going to get to that part of you as well.
Sure.
We're going to finish your entertainment part up. Then we're going to get to the mental part of Brother Silver, okay? And this photo, explain what's happening and what was going on at that time.
I was filming with Anthony Hopkins at Union Station, and Anthony Hopkins, he befriended me. He took me back to his trailer and gave me a picture of himself in another country, and he introduced me to Ridley Scott, and we just had a great time. This picture also went national. Someone sent it about, if you have a picture of you meeting someone else, put it on this television show. There was a third guy that was there, so he put it on the show. I said, what am I doing on national television again with Anthony Hopkins? I don't remember that, but he sent that picture in, and next thing I know, it went national again.
And this photo is with you.
That's Dominic West. Dominic West is a very cool guy. Most of the people I work with are very great human beings. Dominic West, Idris Elba, like Pat Moran, who casted everybody. I'm like, Pat Moran, Pat Moran, Pat Moran.
Let me ask you a question. When you be around these people, like, you be around everyday regular people, and then you go on a set, and a certain person to come on a set, do you ever get like, wow, I'm on here with these people?
I'm always amazed. For example, Chris Rock. I was on the set. I heard someone cursing and walking around the corner. I said, Chris. I saw Robin Givens getting her hair cut, and she was sitting there. I said, oh, Robin Givens.
Okay.
And so I'm always excited. I said, if I become a millionaire, no matter how famous, I'm going to always want a picture and to say hi.
Right.
I just can't wait to see like Denzel Washington in person, you know, because he's like a mentor, and I've always appreciated him as an actor.
Okay, and this one is with you and...
That's Juan Carlos.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He plays in a lot.
He played on Malcolm X.
Yes.
I actually met the man who was Malcolm X's mentor, and he gave me a picture with him, and he had lunch with Spike Lee and the makers of Malcolm X too. But this gentleman I met, he had was actually there during the assassination of Malcolm X. Yeah, and maybe we'll say that for another time of how things actually went down.
Okay, that'll be another subject. Go ahead.
Since we're in okay, you say like you want to be a millionaire, this and that. Whenever you get around certain people, when the universe opens it up to you, don't shy away, because I had an incident. I had a friend, Rick, may he rest in peace. He gave me some backstage passes when back in the day Puffy came to the what's that? Not the Coliseum, the other one. It's closed down there.
What the Capitol Center?
Capitol Center. And so I'm going down the ramp, and this guy started walking beside. I just thought it was a regular person, and I looked. I said, "That's Mike Tyson." And I'm walking. I said, "Mike Tyson, what?" You know. And so thought came to me to tell him about your music, right? And I was like, "No, I ain't do it, right?" So he went somewhere else, and I was sitting on this crate by myself. And he came back, and the boy said to me, "Tell him about your record company. You're trying, you know, your music, you produce it, this and that." And then that other boy said, people always probably coming to him, you know, he don't want to hear this. And
right.
So this guy came up and said, "Can you take a picture of me and Mike?" Mike said, "Sure." So I took the camera, he had the camera come out, and just
Polaroid,
Polaroid.
Slide out.
So I took the pictures. So I say, "Can I get one?" He's like, "Nah, I ain't got that much film." So Mike said, "Hold up." He took a picture of us, take one of us, you know, so we took the picture. Then for the third time, that boy said, "Tell Mike about your business," you know. And I didn't do it. Then all these people came around, and it was over. The next day, Mike announced on the radio that he was starting a record company. And I could have kicked myself like 3-4 times, you know, because he was trying to get into that.
Right.
And knowledge I had,
right.
that'd have been a bomb. But I was saying that to you, if you ever around these people and you something that spirit speak,
right,
don't shy away.
Right. Matter of fact, when I was with Anthony Hopkins, he already had gave me an autograph. He took me to his trailer, and I said, "Hey, you think you can give me a line too?" And so I was pushing the envelope, you know, that type of situation.
You know,
and the funny thing, the picture about me and Michael, when I did the Michael Jackson thing at Howard University, the funny thing about it is I remember walking through the living room, and my father was sitting on the couch with my sister, and they snickered at me with my Michael Jackson outfit on and get ready to go and practice and all that. They were like laughing. And after I started, like I said, performing at the Howard Theater in front of 700 people, 800 people. Then the RFK Stadium in front of 1,300 people 3 times. They stopped laughing.
Right.
The moral of the story is, like the Wright brothers, they laughed at the Wright brothers when they tried to fly.
Correct.
People will try to laugh at you when you first try to fly.
Right.
But when you start flying, the laughing is going to
Like
stop.
they said, they joked and they talked about Noah when he was building the ark, but they wasn't doing that when all that rain, that flood came, was
Yeah.
it?
No.
Instead of my
Yeah.
father laughing now, he says, show them. He like, sick them. Show them.
Okay. And this is, I know her too. She's still busy. She's still busy and active. That
Yep.
was when? What was your time of frame of that?
That was Lynn Whitfield right there. And that was with Chris Rock, his movie as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a great time on the set. Chris Rock, Robin Givens, and Lynn Whitfield was there. Had a great time.
And Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yes,
You know,
I know that one.
That was such a great time because I met what my movie actress girl of my dreams. I have a girl of my dreams right now, and she might not want me to tell her name in front of everybody. But this right here is Gina Rivera, and I wrote a song for Gina. It's on there too, by the way, my album.
Okay, we must on One Nation.
Yes.
Okay, we
And
must
I've
play it.
always wanted Gina to hear the song, one of these songs. But anyway, I met Gina on the set, and I was United States Marshal. I was in the background. I had my own dressing room and trailer. Warner Brothers gave me this big, juicy check, and I was in the dressing room, and I said, this is me. This is what I'm born to do.
Right.
I was flirting with Gina Rivera, almost got her number. And, but I had a great time with
That's
Gina.
wonderful. And what was the song called that you made for her on here?
Let me see. It's Gina. Let me see. Is it on here? I wrote so many songs. It might be on my next album. I think it's on my other album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on Chocolate Treat.
Yeah, it's probably my Chocolate Treat album.
Okay, he made for this lady here, his dream lady. We all have those.
But
We
my
all have those.
rural lady, you have to listen to on Chocolate Treat, Heartstrings. You pull my heartstrings, and I wrote that specifically. Matter of fact, she inspired me to do all these songs.
Okay.
I said she's inspired my heart. She inspires my art. And I wanted to say her name, but I think that she just wanted to stay anonymous. But that's not gonna happen for long sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, that's sweet. That's sweet. Now, after you done seen his repertoire of entertainment from far and near, from California, from The Wire, right down here on 7th and Northwest Street at the Howard. You know, I think that's what's this, almost like 9th and 10th Street somewhere. But you know what I'm talking about. 7th and T. That was close. Yes. This brother done did it all across the nation, okay? You gotta give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? When you put in your work, you put in your work. Now we get right into another avenue of his endeavors and attributes that he can give to this universe, is that he's also a motivational speaker. He's also a mental health advocate. And he's also a
Clairvoyant.
clairvoyant.
Yes.
And he's going to get into a little bit of all of that stuff within the next half of this hour. But we're going to listen to pick another great selection for us to listen to before you get into the juicy stuff of the mind.
Okay, let's go with Love Is the Way.
Love is the Way.
Number 9.
Number 9 on One Nation. No other than Mr. Seth Silver. Check it out.
It's taken me a lifetime, but I think I got the gist of this thing called love. Beyond hope, beyond faith, there is charity, love for you and me, yeah. Love is the answer to our prayers, the end of our spare spiritual affairs. There's something born of all our lives. The key to free us all from hate. Open the doors to forgiveness. Love is the way. The way. The way. Love is a willing, full affair. Time for us to share in your deity. Love is the act of laying down so that you can come with us now. Stepping aside as we shout out and sing. The owner of this house is Yahweh. Oh, oh, oh. God is love. Oh, oh. God is love. Oh, God is love.
And I didn't know this. I didn't know this was on my music. All this time I didn't know I had it all the time. Remember I had this when we was at my
Nothing to
I didn't. I wasn't educated. Yeah, he is too. He's gonna blow our minds though. He's taught us.
I was looking at
It's from India.
About the third eye.
Open the door of forgiveness. Love is the way. 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 Oh, 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 love is the way. Love is the way. Love is the way.
I play most of my instruments too. He does poetry.
You gotta bring the instrumental one in. You got a whole compilation of instrumental music. They showed him on the news the other day when he was on the news talking about how he couldn't get how he was unemployed. Great. One Nation, Seth Silver. That's right. The brother is multi-talented. So now we finished with all his ways he can entertain you. Now we're gonna get into how he can brain you. Okay? Don't sleep. I'll get you. Your girl would get you every time. We make sure you gotta stay awake, in this last half hour. We're gonna let Brother Silver tell you all about his clairvoyance and his ideas on what we should all be focusing on to help us mature into focusing on our lives and self-helping our own brain maturing and brain ways of thinking and such. So, Brother Silver, you want to take over?
Sure. The question I want to ask everyone, if you are a caterpillar, but you know you're supposed to be a butterfly, would you like to stop as a caterpillar, or would you like to self-actualize as a butterfly? Most of us say we would want to be a butterfly. Well, if I were to tell you that when you were brought from Africa, if you were African American, or a lot of people that were brought from the other regions to the Western Hemisphere, they keep you in what you call the cranial nerves. We orient ourselves from our 5 senses. Science says if you can see it, taste it, smell, touch it, but all of these cranial nerves are in your head, but they don't tell you exactly who you are. This right here is what you call the third eye. If you want to show them this right here, Notice that it's dark. Someone
This
said
is one significance of third eye.
the third eye has many names. It's called the inner eye, the seat of the guru, the bindi, the pineal gland, the ajna chakra. That I could give you 47 names for this right here. But
And before you go, this is mine. I had it created out of my mother's bracelet she used to wear, which puts her ancestor juices in it. And then you also see it has the toothpaste flat stones in front of them, and there's 3 of them. And you know, it's 3 dimensions of life. We have 3 sections of our soul. We have 3 sections, you know, of everything. So hey, everything is done in 3s. So there you have it. This is my third eye that I visioned to had created by the young lady that makes everything that I'm wearing, and her name is Precious Mother Love, which I'll be covering her next weekend. But go ahead, brother.
I think this section right here is pretty much the Seth Silver, the man, the legend, the myth. Some of the things that happened in my life when I opened up my third eye is so mythological in a sense that you would not believe. That's when I started realizing that all of us are superheroes in a sense. All of us are capable of God-like abilities. But it happens through opening the third eye. This one right here is a pine cone, but the pine cone represents the pineal gland right here. If you look at this picture right here, the pineal gland is shaped like the eye of Horus, or the eye of Ra, if it's on the right side. If it's on the left, the eye of Horus. But the reason why it was depicted back in Egypt, because they knew how to open the third eye, the seat of the guru, the pineal gland. It leads to higher states of consciousness and awareness. Now, what's so important about doing that? Because you get to self-actualize, and if you look at my wrist, this is what you call your carpals. My hand is called my metacarpals, and my fingers are called my phalanges. Carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. If you were to live like this, would you self-actualize as a human being? You know how much this can do,
Right.
your hands? Imagine living without this right here. You would not be self-actualized as a human being. Same thing. Your common senses are right here, but your metaphysical senses are beyond. Meta means beyond. Beyond your carpals, metacarpals. Beyond your tarsals, metatarpals. Meta is not anything supernatural, it just simply means beyond. Beyond your 5 senses, not just me. Every last human being who can hear my voice is psychic, is clairvoyant, has a third eye, has a bindi. Everyone has a bicep, but if you develop it, it becomes stronger. The third eye or the bindi, it strengthens. You can strengthen it, and I'm going to teach you the fastest way to open it. Meditation. Go into an alpha state. There are 4 brain waves: beta, alpha, theta, delta. In Hinduism, there are 4 states of awareness. I won't get into all the 4 states of awareness, but they like waking state deals with the beta band. Most Americans, we live in the waking state's beta band, and we never close our eyes. That's why we never get to the truth of who we are. That's why we stay as caterpillars. But when you spend time, ever since I was a little boy in my basement, I used to almost fall asleep praying to God, but never fall asleep. That's why some people said, how can you be a Christian or start as a Christian and almost end up Hindu, as it were? Well, both of them deal with being still. The Bible says, be still and know that I'm God. Hinduism and a lot of other religions that opens the third eye and allows you to become more God-like requires that you become still.
Exactly.
Hypnopompic trances and dreaming, the Indians do it. Africans do it. Matter of fact, anybody see Black Panther?
Right.
Notice that when he was getting the high states of consciousness to talk to his father, his ancestors, he lowered his consciousness almost like he was dead, as it were. He lowered it. I mean, he went down.
They covered him up with the sand.
Yes. And matter of fact, when I saw Black Panther, wasn't that a great movie, by the way?
It
Yeah,
was
it
a
was,
wonderful
right.
movie.
I walked out of that movie. After I saw that movie, I came out.
Wakanda forever.
Yes, I wanted to do something black when I came out.
Of
Right,
course.
right,
I said, come on.
just love bleed black, born black, everything black.
I said, come on, y'all, let's go to some place and get some soul food or something. But I was so hungry, I said, nah, let's go get some Chinese food instead. I feel like a traitor to my cause, but you know. But I've never felt the need to, even though this is like a picture, this is a beautiful picture, a depiction of Jesus. but this is a Eurocentric picture of Jesus. Like I said, this is me right here when I played Jesus, and Walt Disney World blew it up into a picture looking like Jesus. But it's not about me. It's all about Christ in us and releasing the greater part of deity within us. Now, Edgar Cayce, he's one of the greatest documented prophets. He started as a Christian, and then he became known as the sleeping prophet, as he would fall into alpha state. And he could give cures to medical problems. Well, I started beginning to do that too. I got books, and I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of documentations. All of my friends and family members, everybody who knows me, knows that not me, but God in me, can body scan people and tell you their medical history, their problems specifically. I could look at one guy and say, and see clairvoyant images and say you have a problem with your right eye, you have a problem with your heart. It says you smoke cigarettes. Look at another guy, it says, he said, read me, read me. I said, you carrying a knife, you have a 9-inch knife hidden, it's a leather case. He said, you've been following me around? I said, no, I'm not following you around. I said, this is called clairvoyance. I walk up to an old lady, I said, sorry that your husband just passed, but God told me that you're going to be okay. And I said, you're Baptist, you're an usher as well. I said quite a few things on it. And she said, you sure you don't know me, Sonny? I said, no, God just sent me to tell you that you're going to be okay. Now, the fastest way to develop these psychic abilities, I can throw a lot of different words. I can say that I'm a prophet, seer, psychic. You can say the same thing about you. But everybody has a pineal gland, no matter what culture you come from.
Correct.
We're taught to suppress it here because drinking water that has fluoride in it will calcify the bindi. The bindi is electrical in nature. And when you drink fluoride toothpaste, it also calcifies the bindi. Now, the government don't want everybody waking up, for one.
Right.
Because what I'm able to do, and other people who has an open third eye, is you can remote view. Not only can I look at a human being, or God in me can look at a human being and tell every intimate detail, a lot of intimate details about them, is because the ASCAR records has everything known in it, and the third eye is able to access it. The third eye is like a bindi. I mean, it's a web browser. I heard a guru say that. So if you listen to Sadhguru, he says things like that. I said if I were to call myself a guru, I wouldn't be sad guru. I would call myself glad guru. But it means true guru. Notice right here, this picture of Jesus, he has a halo around him. The halo is the crown chakra. Buddha has a halo. The first family has a halo. Peter has a halo. You have a halo. How do you use it and open it up? Star Wars, everybody was having halos. This halo is the crown chakra. If you study the chakra system, the 6th chakra deals with intuition, or the third eye. The 7th chakra, you just know information.
Right, it just comes to you.
Yes. I'll break it down because I don't have too much time. You have to check me out eventually on YouTube when I cover this in detail. But if I were to break it down and make this simple right here, there are 5 senses.
No, we're just going to have you back and give us some more
great.
knowledge.
There are 5 senses, then there are 5 metaphysical senses. There's a correlation sense to almost all of them. Mm-hmm. Clear knowing, there is none. You just simply know. Intuitively, you know things. A lady said to me, do me, do me, do me. I said, okay, you're here at this club because you're 50 years old and your girlfriend is 49 years old. They dropped their jaws and how'd you do that? It's called clear knowing. I don't know how I know, I just know. I was in a restaurant with a guy, I said, see that guy over there? I said, yeah, he's a police officer. How do you know? Just know. He walked over to him, so you a police officer? Yes, I am. Guy walking down the street, jogging down the street from the shrine. I said, you work for Comcast, you make X amount of dollars an hour? He says, yes, how'd you know? Clear knowing. Talked to a lady, I said, you got 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl. How'd you know that? Clear knowing. It's not just me, so I'm not pointing to me. I want you to see what's inside you all.
Correct.
When I call it the marvelous Millennial Man on TV, like a superhero, none of us are ordinary. The best kept secret identity of a superhero is that you are that superhero. That's why I like Unbreakable so much. because they depict an average guy who has superhero abilities, which are clairvoyance, telepathy, and all these other things. The end game is if you concentrate on love, oneness, these abilities will manifest themselves. But you got to lower your brainwaves out of the beta band down to the alpha. You've got to lower it and visualize and let the images begin to flow. Like I said, intuition can come 5 different ways, like 5 senses. When intuition hits your eyes, it's called clairvoyance, the third eye. When intuition comes as a sound, it's called clairaudience. As a song, those who passed away may want to...
Did you know these things?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
They may want to talk to you in a song. Gustave is when you may have like a bad taste in your mouth, something's wrong metaphysically. Intuition is coming to let you know what's coming down the pike, to warn you. It's a lot faster than the logical brain. See, the logical brain, or the conscious mind, lets you know you can walk up and down the street.
That's enough, bro.
But the third eye lets you know you can walk up and down the corridors of time. You enter into dream time, past, present, and future with this thing. The bendy is really deep. You can do body scans, remote view. I can watch my daughter and see what she's doing in California when I'm praying. I say, my daughter, I tell 4 objects that are in her dorm. She said, Mom, I told you Dad can see through walls. I'll be upstairs and I'll tell people what color the clothes and things. But it's like I said, it's not about me. I started trying to use these things for helping the police, and I do work with law enforcement. I was a sergeant in Maryland Penitentiary. I've always been a police officer. So being a guardian of man, helping, the higher self always is helping other people. So if you want to increase your psi abilities, psi is the 23rd letter of the Greek alphabet. So who am I? I am psi. Would I call myself an eyeball? If I call myself clairvoyant, that was simply saying, I just received information from God, from the source, from Chi, through my eyeball. I'm not just a clairvoyant. I'm not just clairaudient. Neither are you.
Right.
You have all of these metaphysical or psychic senses, but if you will be saying, as you pray, you lower your brain waves down to the alpha state, and you say, Lord, who's in trouble? Who can I help? You do this for 15 minutes a day and watch the pictures. Clairvoyance is the more you exercise it, it becomes stronger. Keep a dream diary, because that allows you to pay attention and hold on to this dream material.
That being said about the dream world, for me, I'm like, this world, this 3D, this is not the real world.
This is called Maya.
Okay.
Maya is the illusion.
Right.
I love
this is the illusion.
I love what Indians say. There's the Atman and the Atman. There's a small you, and then there's Christ consciousness or Buddha consciousness. See, the Atman is the ego, or I call him the brat man, the meat. God is like a big ocean, and we're like waves in the sea. We're part of this great ocean, but we think we're just me, I. But once you get rid of the illusion of I, you realize that everything is connected.
Right, exactly.
See, right now, everybody's getting on the internet, and you see how everybody is talking to one another, but there already exists an intuitive connection between all minds. You can attune to anybody you want, and eventually, without a cell phone, have them to call you.
Have a connection
Yes.
in some sort of way.
And guess what
Fashion.
happens? It normally happens when you are someone's wife or husband because you love them. If you're someone's mother, a mother loves a child. And so therefore, why does it happen? Because there's love. If it's someone in your immediate family, or being a pastor, being a police officer, being someone who oversees the, quote unquote, as Einstein said, the human herd, protecting the rest of humans. When you allow yourself to do that, that's when these gifts, because the gifts, as Paul said, they manifest, they work with love.
Right. And what I do now is I tell people, watch what you think, and then actually your thoughts are not your thoughts. It's like everything is a contract. Okay, I'm trying to give a quick example. I've been going off of energy a lot. I feel energy.
And what you say?
Positive or negative energy, right?
Okay, no, what you say when you feel it, when you're clear, what's that?
Now, oh yeah, I didn't finish the list. Clairsentient is when intuition hits your gut.
And that's what he told me.
That's feeling.
I feel
So that's
gut
energy.
feeling.
So when people tell me stuff, it could be a stranger, anything. I hear the words, but the energy don't lie.
Ain't right.
You
It doesn't.
understand what I'm saying?
Right. You know, people,
resonates
you know, watch
inside
this.
you.
Right.
Let me. People will think that moving into side leads into deception. No, it leads into perception. When you open the third eye, people can't trick you.
Right.
Hey, don't sleep.
A lot of times it be loved ones, but a lot of times I just fall back
Yep,
and listen.
it be
'cause I
your
already
family,
know.
be your loved ones.
You understand what I'm saying?
You know what I tell people
Trick
to
your
do?
heart, trick your mind.
This is what God and my angels have taught me to do, and my guys. They would teach me to do this. When you go to the mall, when you walk up to people, just ask yourself the question. One question: do you feel comfortable or uncomfortable? And let it string over and over and over again. Don't ask any other question. That's clairsentient. There was a woman who walked up to me in the gym. She says, "Whoa, look at your eyes. You're a seer. You're a prophet. You used to be a police officer. And you like women." I said, "How you know all this about me?" I said, "That's pretty good." I know. I said, "But now I said, I commend you on your metaphysical senses being open. But how did you know?" She said, "Well, I felt this, and I felt that, and I felt this, and I felt that." I said, "Are you aware that you weren't using clairvoyance to know it?" Because if you said, "I saw this, and I saw that," it would have been clairvoyance. If you said, "Well, I heard this in the spirit, or I heard that," it would have been clairaudience. But you said, "I felt this." Feeling comes from the clairsentient, or clear, comes.
Hot chakra up in here.
Yes,
Amen, hot chakra.
from that region. And a lot of times, even though my roots are in Christianity, Jesus most certainly,
Mine are too.
he's my
Yeah, we all are.
Right.
That's what we were
He's-
blinded and beaten into.
But actually, here's the thing. He's my personal
And I
Lord.
still believe in some of it still has a greater connection to
Yes.
it all.
Jesus is my personal Lord and Savior, and I'm under the tutelage of Jesus. He taught me love.
Right.
Right.
To love God, love myself, love my neighbor. And when I studied maybe like Buddhism or a lot of other major religions that deal with going into the regions of yourself, that the kingdom is within you,
Right.
and all these other civic abilities, things start coming out. As a pastor, when I pastored, anybody who pastors, they'll tell
Oh
you to
yeah,
go to school.
hold up. Yeah, that's another thing. He not only was all those other things we just talked about, he also was a pastor in his lifetime too as well.
Yeah.
So that's another attribute that this brother, I tell you, man, we can go all day. That's why we got to have him back here on 2GO. But go on.
They make you go, or they require that you go to school for comparative religion sometimes, so you know who everybody else is. So when my third eye was opening up, and some of the pastors didn't know why I could see through walls. Matter of fact, Bishop Mears, he gave me a book called Latent Power of the Souls. And in this book, Young Cho had the largest Christian church in the world, and he saw an individual who could meditate and see through walls, and you could hide a Coca-Cola can in a safe, and he could tell you what it was. There's a woman who I read about on a YouTube video. She was meditating, and NASA was trying to study how she opened her third eye. Well, she said she was meditating and she could see the satellites. And they start laughing. "Oh, you can see our satellites?" Yes, she said, "I'm hovering right above it." They laughed at her. But when she started quoting the numbers on the
Right.
side of it, they stopped laughing.
See, they already know because people that's clairvoyant got this in us, like you say. They got the chemtrails.
Yes. Falling down on us.
Breathing that stuff in, they hit the water, the foods. Because my spirit tell me a lot of times the things not to do, and by me being programmed so long and doing them, I shy
You'll
away from it for a
hesitate,
while,
mhm.
but then it come
Come
back
back.
for me.
Right.
So like one time I was off of junk food, totally off of potato chips and all that stuff. Because I've been a vegan for 19 months, right? And I try to drink like that pH water with the highs.
Right.
So certain things I do physically, and I notice I get better results.
Yes.
But then later on, sometime I slip and do something and end up eating stuff that that will kind of hinder you.
Right.
So I guess it's an everyday fight. But Spirit told me a long time ago, it's not about religion; it's about spirituality.
Right.
Right. And because I was into religion, so once I still go to church, and Jesus is still my Lord and Savior, but now I'm learning other stuff.
Other
I
things
try
that
to tell the family.
increase the value,
They
right?
try to shoot it down, but if you read the Bible, Jesus done told us all this stuff.
Yes.
And then you go to church, they're not really preaching on it. You feel me? They were sad, but when you get in detail, because my sister told me, you need to take that Buddha thing down. I got a Buddha statue.
Right.
I need to get out.
I got one in my car.
God, He made Buddha. He made all of us. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even want to get into all of it, but
Yeah, I know.
No, because the first thing that come in is an idol. It's an idol because we've been told
and Jesus
over
said,
Christian things that it's an
right.
idol. Anything of a figure or that's not of me or
and he's a jealous God.
Right.
They throw that at you.
You the thing about it is Christianity here in America, people don't have. Everybody tries to see God in their own way. No two people see God in the same way. Matter of fact, as soon as Catholicism came over to the United States, Protestants jumped up. You have all these Christian denominations, freedom of speech. There's so many different religions because of freedom of speech, and no two people just see God in general. I don't believe in bashing anybody, and I know we're not doing that. What I believe that everybody has the right to try to understand the divine or God to their own means. I'm not trying to proselyte anybody. I would never try to proselyte. I'm saying at the same time, I don't care when people may try to demonize psi or psychic abilities. Hey, it's just part of being human.
Right.
I did it when I first met Jesus. People may say, hey, why are you showing a picture of a Eurocentric Jesus and all that? I'm not into color. And the thing about it is, I'm more Indian in culture. I don't know why it happened. I think someone slipped me a Hindu Mickey.
It's an energy. It's
yes.
The Christ consciousness is like simple as this crystal.
Right.
Is to become crystallized. It's like in Christ. That's what Christ they get it from. So, and I mean like I say, energy, and it was normal. But when we start on Jesus and religion, you see how that music got real loud.
Got louder.
Some people won't even
like
notice
chaos,
that.
Yeah.
But see, to me, I noticed that.
It's
right.
And that's the energy.
Remember we said?
Try to cut this because
Right.
they don't want certain people getting the message.
Right.
So once you get spiritual, you got spiritual warfare on colors, sound, jiggling of key, all
Yes.
kinds of stuff.
Yes.
That's why when people hypnotize people, they do certain things. And you just gotta be aware.
Just like
of it,
these
man.
mic, if you notice, some of them kept feebing a little bit every time, a little bit.
And you know
It's
what?
just
You know what? People get made, if they get confused of the way, we know that God is love. Jesus is the way. Jesus is love. God is love. You can't go wrong when it comes to love. I believe in love.
It's the high
That's
vibration.
right.
I believe
It's a high
in
vibration.
oneness. And if you want to say that something's wrong with me, then I don't agree with you. I don't agree with some religions in America that believes in courting the almighty dollar, because God is not into exploiting people financially. I'm not into that. Even in the Psi community, people get readings, as it were, and they want $700 for a reading. Little hands in the window. I'm not into all that type of stuff. I'm just simply saying, when you're just still, as a Christian, as a human being, these abilities will start rising up. They're spiritual, they're natural. I'm a twin. Twin telepathy has always happened to me and my twin brother. I'm a dad. I know what intuitively what's going on with my daughter. Anybody else as a father? Matter of fact, here's a picture of me and my daughter right here. The daddy and his ooh.
Just got the job in.
She got an internship.
Intern with.
She's at Southern California.
And she got the job with what film company?
I can't remember exactly. She's gonna next time I come on out.
Okay, we'll have the update on
Minuet Silver.
Minuet Silver, baby Silver, out there in California, following her dad's footsteps, and a newer picture when she's so beautiful. I'm sure, like her and handsome like her dad. In many ways of her, she's out there. She studied, but she had a 3.9
undergraduate, and she's doing great here. I would encourage everybody.
She just hosted
the pre-Emmys party, and like I think the Oscars, they wanted her to do that as well. But a lot of famous people, she rubbed showed us with already, John Singleton and all that. The place she's working is like right around the corner, interning, right around the corner from Warner Brothers.
Okay.
So I said, so I work with Warner Brothers. You get to work with Warner Brothers too?
Yeah, I saw that on your resume.
Yeah. But most definitely, if you want to develop your psychic senses or psi abilities, go to like Lights of Venus. Lights of Venus, they have a guided meditation where they'll teach you how to get in the alpha state.
Lights of
Venus.
Lights of Venus. You hear that, folks?
Lights of Venus.
If you want to exercise your side of your third eye ability, Lights of Venus.
Yes, and a lot more of my music is on Facebook, The Marvelous Millennial Man. You just look it up, and I have a few visual pictures that go along with it. And if I can ever focus in this one direction, I want to finish up that television show that deals with the Marvelous Millennial Man, average human being that moves in his psi abilities. But I'm so busy actually being the Marvelous Millennial Man. Millennial Man on a television show is a psi spy for the FBI. He's psychic abilities, but I'm so busy working for detectives in real life, working with police in real life. I'm the first one on the scene when things happen that's being a precognitive abilities. When you open your third eye, you're there before things pop off because you see in dream time. But it's not just me. Like I said, I'm not pointing to myself. I'm pointing to the Christ in us. So I tell everyone, let's share the road, which is the cross. Where's that symbol again?
Like Ankh.
Yes. Let's share the road, share the intersection.
Share the intersection, people. And stop and be a little kind. And you know what works for me? I try to be the one not in a rush. I try to be the one to say, go ahead. I be that one, I got all day. You know what I'm saying? I be that one, leave an hour early.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right, so I don't have to rush. These are the things that you can do to prevent you from getting into those crises out on these intersections, as Brother Silvers was saying. So take those into heed.
Right, like a courtesy. If you're in a lot of traffic, let one person over. You know, the courtesy thing. You don't have to let everybody over.
What goes around, it comes back to you.
Right.
Trust me, it happens.
There's a
So I
courtesy.
let a person over, trust me, somebody let me over.
Yes.
Or if somebody let me over, then I'll let somebody else over. We just have to continue this on and on and on, folks. It's like a disease, a happy disease.
She told me
we have to continue the plague, of a good plague. But with
that's
said,
my
I'm going
Buddha
to
here.
my last little part of the show. We only have 6 minutes left, and I want to get into the last part.
Is that one.
And Brother Lawrence is showing his stuff that he has, and Brother Silver is bringing out his Buddha and stuff. We got a lot more shows, as you can see, because we're not finished here. The energy got high at the end. But we're going to continue, and we'll be back on location next week. We'll be at the 17th and 18th Street of Northwest of Irving Street at a block party for 89.3. DJ and Precious Mother Love for her performance, giving her full interview, and a lot of other participants of that block party, annual block party.
And I might be singing live too, one of my songs from the album. If I say please.
Hopefully. Yeah, we'll be on location along with Brother Silver. I'm sure I know he's going to support us out there as well. And just to get back onto like my word on the street, all I wanted to say was, as you can see, your girl will come back and bring you the fashion. Yes, some fashion. And we got to get ready to set up on all our summer wear because you can see this weather out here. Honey, I had to bring on this jacket, another jacket, because it is not planned. So start fishing out that sweatery and the knitteries because it's getting ready to get coldery, okay? Because we got to stay warmery so you can keep you surviving healthy. That's on fashion. And Mr. Seth was enough music and entertainment for us for the segment. Word on the Street, he's going to bring us some more when he comes back. And on his daughter, which is some more entertainment and news out there in the entertainment world of film and production. And we already covered our health part of the Word on the Street segment, which was the mental health. If you're out there, if you know of someone, if you're someone that seeks the counsel of supporting in your mental space, it's nothing wrong with it, people. Go get help. It's out there, it's available, the resources are available. You can go to any web page. You can Google how to do anything in this world now. And you can Google where your mental health resources are.
Yep.
Okay? So don't sleep. Get out there and get these things done and take care of yourself, your health, and your mind and your body. Okay? Because all that is included. Those 3 things. You got to keep all those things together in order to see another day and give thanks to another day. And like I said, it doesn't take much to pass on a kind word. If you see someone walking past you, maybe looking down or whatever, just say hi. It's going to be all right. That's what our job is to do. Our contract we signed when our egg was fertilized. We have a contract, people. Remember that. Get focused, get awakened, and find out what yours is. And we'll be back next week. And Brother Lawrence, would you like to say some closing words?
I just want to say, if you're out there and you want to be rich, a lot of people want to be rich and live a good life. Filth, decay, you have to get rid of that. You have to get that out your life. Start with your own home. Because I noticed when you ever see pictures of like rich people homes, rich people communities, it's always clean, you know? So if you don't change that mentality, you got to get rich here first. And you might come into some money, but if that mentality don't change, you're going to be poor again and broke again. So start with just cleaning up your house. Taking better care of your car.
Decluttering.
Yeah, decluttering.
Throw away things.
You know
Give
what
away
I'm
stuff
saying?
that you don't wear and can't use anymore.
Spirit had told me that this week, so that's just something to think about.
All right.
Namaste.
Brother Silver, you have any words for our viewers before we close the show?
Yes. Dr. King said the most important question we constantly need to be on our mind is, what are we doing for others? And I totally agree with him. What are we doing for others? So I like to say, and on Namaste, Namaste. The divine soul in me acknowledges the divine soul in you. In Lakesh, you are me.
All right. Great. We'll see you next week on live location, 17th and 18th Street Northwest at the block party, y'all. We're going to be doing it and filming it outside. Whether it's rain or shine, we're going to be there. So stay tuned with me and Brother Lawrence and our special guest. Hopefully you'll come back and join us some more of our episodes on Saturdays, right here 3 to 5. Keep following us, and we will post these shows. If you missed it, could tune in live. We will up on our 2GoRadio page at YouTube. Okay, and also follow Seth Silver, Facebook and Instagram and
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation. Seth Silver. Peace out.
The marvelous millennial man.